Hi, this is our very quick product review of Focus 9, the cloud-based ERP. The company information, the username and password will be shared separately over the email. So here is the interface. When you log into the platform, you would possibly see a user-based dashboard when you can have selected reports specific to the user needs can be available or can be made available on a application login itself. So in this dashlet, you are able to see summary of accounts payable, a statistical information of pending purchase vouchers, statistical information of total AR, similarly pending MRNs, the count, etc. Likewise, each user can have his own specific dashboard or specific dashlets or report views, which can be available to a user. Well, that primary gives a indication of when I log in, possibly I can see the cash position of the day, possibly the stock position of the day, summary sales of the day, etc. can be available on a login itself rather than going into the application and possibly navigating through the various menus. So that is the purpose of a dashboard. And then subsequently on the left-hand side panel, you are able to see modules and sub-modules under it. Because I have logged in as an admin user, I'm able to see all modules available in our product. So these modules, like for example, you can see HRMS, ESS, finance, inventory, fixed assets, production, point of sale. So all these modules are enabled or disabled depending on the type of purchase you do. For example, if the customer purchases only supply chain, inventory control, and financials, then they would only see these two menus. The other menus may not be available. On the same note, if a user, when he logs in, based on the security definition, based on the profile and the role definitions, if he's supposed to be having only view of finance data, he would possibly have only finance menus available. For example, a cashier logs in, he can see only cash and bank menus, rest of the menus will not be available. So the platform is completely based on the user definitions or the profile or the role definition and subject to authorities and accesses being allotted to each user. Right. So on the main menu, you're able to see on the left-hand side panel, first and foremost, your company setup, the definition of your accounting period, the definition of the year-end process, etc. You're defining, and then you're creating the usernames and logins with profile and the role definitions, along with definition of password characteristic, match case, uppercase, lowercase. So combinations can be defined for password definitions. And each user transaction or transactions posted by each user would be available for audit trial as well. It can be available for definitions or control purposes. Moving on to the next level, that is masters. You're able to see masters as chart of accounts, inventory, which is in item master, location master, warehouse masters. So these are the dimensions for transaction postings. So for instance, you can see within the inventory or within the item master, you can have sub-modules or sub-masters. Specific to that could be selling price master, a unit master. Like that, you can define, or you can have sub-masters within each main master module. So for example, I'll just enter into item master. Timeout, basically, I'll just log in again. So you got this menu, you can just click on close on this. So I go back to masters, item master, sorry. So on the platform itself, you are able to create the items, and all these masters you can define on the platform as well from the various menus available in the application. So here is the master definitions. you're able to see all the items. Under that, you can see categorization of items, raw material, finished goods. By brand also you can categorize. So these are the details of the items. Example, medium bag, white, thick paper, thin bag, plastic, whatever, rubber band. Specific items you can define in the item master. So you can create the item by clicking in new and continue with the process also. So furthermore, the application or the design of Focus is defined in such a way that it allows users to have their own workflow, and it allows the users or the businesses to have their own standard operating procedures being defined in the form of authorizations, in the form of approval hierarchy for each set of documents. So for example, when we say design workflow, basically it's a sequence of events when you want to move forward with a transaction. So like an ISO procedure, like a SOP to be followed for a purchase transaction. So for example, if in this example, in this demo database, we are having a procurement flow. For procurement flow to happen, the first transactional document which is entered in the system is material requisition form. Then subsequently, it will be converted to a purchase request. Subsequently, it is converted to a purchase order. Subsequently, MRN, and at the end, at the purchase invoice level. So this definition or design is fully configurable by the application. So you can define all those permutations and combinations specific to a particular type of a workflow. Like for example, you can have a local procurement flow and export procurement flow. Location-based workflow also can be assigned. So in effect, we are conveying to the system that unless and until a purchase order is there, you are not able to make an MRN. Likewise, unless and until a purchase request is there and being approved, you will not be able to make a purchase order. So this is the simplicity what it can offer, and this is the way you can define those workflows in the application. Likewise, you may have sales workflow. For instance, this is a sales workflow. Likewise, you can have a payment workflow. Likewise, you can have a stocks workflow. You can create whatever the number of workflows you want to create for, and have rules being defined on those workflows. Beyond that, while as I said, SOPs and linear way of moving the transactions, you can define transactional authorizations also, which means that every transaction has to go through a possibly an approval hierarchy. So for instance, this is a material requisition. It should go to an approval by a X user. And unless that is being approved, you cannot proceed for a purchase request. So this is an example of an MRQ approval. Then who is the user? For example, Mr. Mark is the person who is supposed to be approving it. Every time a user is created or a purchase request or a requisition is created, Mark has to approve. Only then a PR will be raised. Only then possibly PO will be raised, and possibly the transactional procedure will continue from there on. So, and as Mark is being selected as a user who gets the notification and he approves, basically he can get the notification on SMS, email, as well as on a dashboard view as an alert. So these are the definitions. Now, our product also has a facility of escalations, which means that if Mark doesn't approve this particular MRQ within 30 minutes, it should go to a next level user. Move to a user, for example, what is the username? Let's say Sham is a user. So like that, you can move forward to the escalations. Basically, it will not make the process to choke. It will automatically escalate to the next user in line. So that is how you can define the setups. So these are all configurable. These are the things which we do generally during the implementation of the product or during the configuration phase. And down the line, the product admins or IT admins or functional in charge at the customer place can also take over these type of basic configurations or setups. Moving on, let's get into the transactional procedure. Here is the transaction procedure or transactional screens for inventory. Here you can see, I'll take an example of same purchase request or MRQ. So when I click on requisition, I had the first entry form was material requisition form. So assuming that someone will enter the purchase request for nuts and bolts, size mode or something. So this is the purchase requisition entered. The moment it is entered, it will go for an approval first of all, and then subsequently it moves on to the process. So for instance, once it is entered, let's say I'm going to a request as a next step. So I will see pending material requisition forms. So if I click on it, if I have a pending one, see there is one which has to be still not converted to a request. So when I double click on it, possibly it will load the data automatically as per the requisition. So in a way, you are not typing the data once again, you are clicking and means the next user clicks on the pending and then double clicks on the selected voucher which he wants to convert, he or she wants to convert. Likewise, the flow continues and you raise the PO and then you raise the GRN or the MRN. Like for example, these are the list of the POs made by various people or the users, and you can send the PO by email to the supplier. For instance, by email, print an email, only email, etc. The email ID will be taken from the supplier preview, supplier master. This can be an example of a preview. So here you go, you can see the details of a PO. You can customize this again, depending on the type of PO format you follow. That's about the PO. Likewise, you can have the inventory, which is stock in GRN or the requisition MRN. Once you take the stock, it will update my inventory. So for cooking oil, for example, it will have my inventory report. Ledger. I'm just seeking oil cooking something. So there's a, and to select is quite simple. Again, I'll just put it. I'm just typing oil. It will display all oils. I can type cooking. It will display all cooking. For example, like this, you can just say, okay. You can see 950 pieces has come. Total stock available is 3801 basically, as per the application. So that's about stock update. Similarly, on the same note, the same scenario, you may have a purchase invoice as per the flow. So when I click on purchase invoice, it will allow me to convert pending MRNs. So let's say I'm just selecting this MRN. Now at this point of time, the stock gets updated already anyways. The financials will also get updated for the vendor, which is the payable will be raised as well as the inventory will be debited in the system. So likewise, my ledger, when I go to my financial ledgers, you can see the cross-module integration for that particular KH. Yeah, KH vegetables, something it was, yeah. So you can see all these purchase vouchers. You can have these definitions, and these are the values which are available. These are the total credit balances. There is no payment made for this particular supplier so far, right? So that's a cross-module integration which is available in the application. The same logic goes with the sales flow. You can create a sales or quotation, rather quotation, then order, and then subsequently delivery note, and then subsequently you can raise the invoice. So this is a very simple form of a transactional flow. On the same note, the next thing, which is in each segment, you can see if at all you want to get the finance related reports, you can click on finance, click on reports, you'll get all the reports related to finance, be it cash book, bank book, ledger, sub-ledger, registers, journals, payment registers, all these are available in the finance menu. Similarly, when you click on inventory, you will be able to see inventory related reports, which are stock ledger, stock movement, location-based stock, warehouse by warehouse stock, fast moving, slow moving. These are all standard reports which are available in the application. Now, on the same note, for sales or a specific type of a report, let me just talk about the exceptional element which is available in our platform, which is called BI or business intelligence. So I'm taking an example of a sales report just to demonstrate how the BI or the business intelligence element works on the platform. First of all, the reports are available with a date range, as on date, current month, last week. So these are all the parameters. For the sake of demo, I'm using start and end date. And all the report outputs are available on screen, printer, Excel, all these formats. And I'm just, for the sake of discussion, I'm now taking it on screen. On the main menu also, you can see a customize button, which helps you, again, subject to security and subject to ability of a user to create unless and until it is being defined under his login. So this can be customized for columns. Then there is also facility for scheduling. Schedule doesn't basically relates to email being sent of the sales register every day to a particular email ID or email IDs for that matter, and the start and end time. Let's say it starts at 5 p.m. every day, automatically system will schedule an email. There is an email configurator or the mail settings available in the application on the settings note. So it will automatically send an email without any dependency on any of the staff. Basically, there is no requirement of manual effort there to send emails, be it profit and loss, be it sales register, be it cash book, be it everyday ledgers, everyday aging. So you can just send, or you can just define a schedule on a daily basis on each report or whichever report you want to set for. You can define that on the report parameter. So that is a scheduler. Then filter is nothing but same like an Excel filter. You can filter the report against a warehouse. Let's say I want to see the sales of a particular customer only, I can select. Likewise, if I want to see the sales of a particular location only, I can select. Like that, we can define all those parameters. Now let me go into the report. So for instance, this is the report output. Here I'm able to see certain columns, let's say 5-6 columns. I'm able to see date, voucher, item, quantity, base unit, gross, account, day, and the location possibly. So in this report, first and foremost is you can do a functionality of graph, wherein I can directly put the presentation on a graphical note directly because it's a long data. So that is the reason it is quite cluttered. So this is a graph. Then there is another functionality called analyze. Analyze, for example, I want to analyze on an item, for an item against a column group by Sunday or Monday and against column measure of gross. So if you see, this is a very simple example of product-based daily sales or a week analysis. Very clearly, you can see on each set of item, left-hand side, that is x-axis and y-axis basis. So here is your x and here is your y, where you're able to see buffet breakfast has been sold on Monday at $30,580, $30,620. Likewise, it has been sold. On the same note, you can bring the quantity also over here. You can see this is the way it moves. And you can have various parameters. So what we're trying to bring in with the product entirely is an ability to create your own reports while you're on the screen itself, so that you don't need to dump the data to Excel, run through pivots, and there is a situations of time lag, etc. So you can do it on the fly, on the screen, all the analyze functions with crisscross reporting. Let's say I want to remove this for now, and I want to take something else, for instance, I can bring something else also. So here you go, there are the locations, and then subsequently I will bring the gross. You can see various locations, the values are changing. So we can slice and dice the data depending on the situation or the need of the hour. That is the power which BI Focus 9 brings in with or comes in with, and that helps the users to churn the data the way they want possibly. Likewise, you can bring in the dashboard. All the reports which are available in the application can be brought into the dashboard, or you can create new reports also and bring them on the dashboard. so that you don't need to go into the application and check the details. So likewise, you can see, because I've logged in as an admin, so I'm able to see all the other dashboards also. You can see admin dashboard, marketing dashboard, etc. When I click on marketing dashboard, I'm having certain specific information. So when I click on go back to admin, I may possibly see specific information. So this is in brief as far as our basic product review is concerned. You can explore the product. These are the menus wherein you have to navigate through. You can key in the data, try out with the demo data entries, or possibly with the same flow, you can try out with the data entries. And if you face any challenges, do let us know. We'll be happy to help you. Thank you.